I lump all of these things like hypnosis and yoga nidra into what I call non-sleep deep rest. The reason I coined that term, NSDR, is that A, I like acronyms because I'm a scientist, and B, I think a lot of people are averse to something called yoga nidra because it sounds like you're going to be doing down dogs or up dogs or chanting or ohms or something. And for some people, that's a barrier to entry, when in fact, much of the value of yoga nidra is simply the self-directed relaxation. Likewise with hypnosis, people think stage hypnosis and you're going to be like clucking like a chicken, whereas there's a well-known and established utility for clinical hypnosis. So non-sleep deep rest is a kind of catch-all term for tools that you use to deliberately downshift, move the seesaw to the other side. Yoga nidra is, I think, my favorite tool of all. Yoga nidra literally means yoga sleep. These are free scripts on YouTube. There's a theta rhythm one that I happen to like, but there are many others. You have to pick one where the voice guides you through a number of self-relaxation steps. And sometimes there's an intention or something of that sort. And it brings your brain and body into a state that's very similar to sleep, but not quite sleep. Yoga nidra done 1 to 3 times per week has an immensely powerful effect on teaching you how to deliberately turn off your thoughts. It's allowed me to work in, I think, a far more concentrated way than I would otherwise. It's used now in a lot of trauma release programs. People who are dealing with a lot of overwhelm will do yoga nidra for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, sometimes even an hour a day. Yoga nidra and NSDR have been shown to replenish levels of certain neuromodulators like dopamine and reduce cortisol, reduce a stress hormone, significantly more than with traditional meditation. And there's a nice paper that is entitled Yoga Nidra Practice Shows Improvement in Sleep in Patients with Chronic Insomnia, a randomized controlled trial. Basically, this study looks at, as the title suggests, people with chronic insomnia, although the results certainly carry over for people who don't have insomnia. The key result, I believe, in this paper is that, quote, salivary cortisol reduced statistically significantly after yoga nidra. What do I mean by that? There was a statistically significant reduction in cortisol levels, the stress hormone, immediately after the yoga nidra practice. Here's the takeaway point. If you want to get better at falling and staying asleep, or falling back asleep if you wake up in the middle of the night, or if you are generally challenged with sleep issues, an excellent behavioral practice for which there are terrific data, meaning data that show that a stress hormone, cortisol, can be significantly reduced, as well as certain neurotransmitters can be replenished, as well as, and this is key and covered in this paper that I mentioned a few moments ago on yoga nidra, that the total amount of sleep that you need can be reduced, at least somewhat. Well then, yoga nidra or an NSDR practice done, frankly, any time of day is going to be beneficial. It's a very powerful tool. You asked when to do it. I like to do it in the morning, right after I wake up, if I felt I haven't slept enough. And the reason for not sleeping enough could be because I couldn't fall back asleep, I'm ruminating, I have to get up and work that day. I come out of that yoga nidra always feeling as if I slept more than enough. It's really remarkable. I do a 30-minute nidra, and then there are times when in the afternoon I'm feeling a little run down, and sometimes I'll take a 20-minute nap. The rule on naps, according to Dr. Matthew Walker, is naps should always be shorter than 90 minutes, so they could be 10 minutes or 20 minutes. They should never interfere with your nighttime sleep. So if you can take a nap and still sleep at night, great. But if you take naps and that disrupts your nighttime sleep, then you shouldn't nap. Yoga nidra could be done in the afternoon instead of the morning. Or if I do wake up in the middle of the night and I'm really having a hard time falling back asleep, I'll do a yoga nidra as a replacement for sleep because it's the second best option. A lot of times I'll fall asleep during those nidras, which is great because I wanted to go to sleep. I love them. Or I use Reverie. I'll use that app. So I would say do it first thing in the morning or in the afternoon or any time of night, but it's not something you have to do every day. I think a lot of people think, oh, you have to do it every day. I mean, you're teaching your nervous system how to deliberately relax. I lie down on any surface. I've done them in my car before if I'm like, I hate commuting and I hate traffic. So sometimes if I'm feeling really tired, I'll just pull the car over, not on the side of the freeway, but I'll pull over into the neighborhood and I'll put the seat back so I'm not fully reclined, and I'll just listen to a nidra, and I'm out of that. I feel great. I love nidra. I think it's so powerful because I'm not a great meditator. I do meditate a bit, but meditation is an active process. This is about shutting off thinking and doing.